Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben Adeem and I'm here with my 1972 TNT 400 Free Air. I've got a fun episode planned for you and I hope you stick around and enjoy it. Welcome back everybody. As I said, I've got a fun episode planned for you today. After I filmed the video on that RV there, it seemed like you guys really enjoyed the, seeing the collection and the walk around. So I've got another one planned for you today on one of my favorite snowmobiles ever. So I hope you enjoy that. Should be working on this, getting the turf skis swapped out, but I just don't feel like it today. So I decided to just have a little fun. Okay, so 1972 TNT 400. I picked this up, it was August 2024, I believe, from a good friend. Actually, many of my sleds have come from his collection. This is sled number 1312. Hopefully you can pick that up. And there's a lot of speculation and debate about how many of these they actually made, but it seems to be the consensus is around 1900 or less, so pretty rare sled. Those that know me know that I am particularly fond of the 1972 TNTs. We have a whole pile of them in the collection, and when I learned about these, I just had to have one. The first reason is it just looks mean. I mean, everybody knows the 72 TNTs as the skunks, which I don't subscribe to that. I think it's a very derogatory term for a fantastic snowmobile. But yeah, the skunks, most people know them because they have the white stripe down the hood. This being the 400 Free Air has a different hood, and I don't think it would have looked good with the skunk stripe. You can see the front is wide open here for airflow to feed that big Free Air engine. And this is for entertainment only. I'm hardly an expert. I was not around when these were new, so if I'm wrong about something, feel free to correct me in the comments. We're all here to learn. But this was aimed at more of the race consumer, someone that wanted to get into racing. And from everything that I've been told, that I know, these were a very hot sled. They weren't without issues, they weren't perfect. Definitely the engine ran way too hot being a center mount. The next year, the 73 400 Free Air with the front mount engine ran somewhere close to 100 degrees cooler, I'm told. But this is a very cool sled, and it's a pretty rare sled as well. So this is a 400 Free Air twin cylinder engine. The exhaust is actually, that's the same as like a 340 440 would be. It has a different tank than what would have been on those fan-cooled versions. Those would have had the gas door on the front. Of course, this hood's way different, and this just doesn't have that setup. So the gas tank's different. The dash is different. This is actually an aluminum dash, and the handlebars mount right to that, whereas this panel would have been plastic on the other ones, and it would have just had a traditional handlebar loop to mount the handlebars. The handlebars are different. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but they're much swoopier, we'll say. The track is different, the drivers are different, the grab bar is different. On the normal 72s, the grab bar would have been bolted to the back of the tunnel here. This one's on the side. It's actually more like a silver bullet is. And The belt guard is different. This one, I have the belt guard, it's just not on it. This belt guard is actually a lot more heavy duty than the regular sleds would have been. So other than those key differences, these share a lot of similarities with like a 340, 440. Yes, the skis are chrome, and it would have come with shocks. That is a factory deal. And it does have the slide suspension. I believe they were all slide suspensions, but I would not be surprised if people swapped those out for the bogies. Again, I don't know that for sure. If you do know for sure, please pop that into the comments. I'm pretty sure they're all sliders though. So one day it would be nice to get my 440 and this side by side to do a good comparison. But yeah, that's just a quick rundown of the differences. And these are very popular sleds for people who like 72 TNTs. It doesn't seem like in the realm of vintage snowmobiling that they get a lot of notoriety, but if you like 72 TNTs, there's a good chance you're probably going to want one of these. So as I said, this came from a friend's collection. He was very gracious enough to let me have this and add it to my collection. It was kind of a bit of a surprise. I had just sold my jet ski. I wanted to get out of that, and you know, I was going to use that to invest in the snowmobile collection. And for sure I knew that I was getting the 71 TNT. Like, that was, I saw that sled and I needed to have it. That was like a done deal. But he also had a couple others that I was interested in looking at. One of them being a 72 Nordic 640, which I still really want that sled. But so yeah, we've been talking about 72 400s, and he's like, well, I've got one and you're welcome to check it out, see if it's something you want. And that definitely piqued my interest. So I believe it was the beginning of August. We went down, me and my dad, and fell in love with the 71. That was a done deal. Like, I wasn't leaving without that sled. But we had to dig this out. It was on the shelf. I don't have a lot of pictures, but I'll pop a couple images up right now. You know, we dug it out of the, she had it on the shelf, we dug it out, and you know, I was looking at it, it looks really good. And I knew that I wanted to have it, but you know, these are pretty sought after sleds, and he knows that, and I know that, and we beat him up on the price a little bit, but I hope he's not, no hard feelings. But I think he just wanted to see it go to a good home. But yeah, so that's how I ended up with it. And let me kind of walk you around, show you the condition of it, and see what you guys think. So the first, you know, most notable thing is it is missing the seat. It's pretty common. This is not the windshield that was on it when I brought it home. This is actually one that I picked up, and you can see it. It was cracked here, but this fell off, and now it's fully broken. But I put it on for the video because I think it adds, you know, to the look of these sleds. It's a lot easier to find a clear silver bullet windshield than it is to find a good 72 windshield, and they are not the same. The 72 windshield has a much more pronounced swoop here. But yeah, so the skis are pretty rusty. That's the one downside of collecting these, is chrome skis are very expensive to do right. A lot of people will powder coat them. I'm not super into that, but I don't know, we'll see. It is missing the front grab bar, which I have one for it. One thing I want to mention is this is a piece that was added, and honestly I think I'm going to keep it because I think it adds a little flair and it's part of the history of the sled. Overall, the tunnel is in really good shape, nice and solid. You can see these holes aren't all rusted out here. It's missing, actually is missing both of the we'll call it ram tubes, but snow out here, probably should have something covering that, but missing both of those. I was given this one at a show. It's actually I believe a 292 would use the same thing. This is a points engine, so that's good. This is a Comet clutch, which is a good upgrade to have. Like I said, I do have the clutch guard. Overall, the engine looks in good shape. There's a couple busted fins. It does turn over. Seems to make pretty good compression. I think it would run. It doesn't have spark. The track is probably marginal at best. It's hard to tell because it's pretty dirty. I'm thinking this might have sat in a barn. It doesn't look horrible. Won't really know until we get into it. You know, the chrome handlebars and the chrome bumper around the front is, you know, it's okay. It could probably clean up very good. The hood, I'm not sure what to make of the hood, if it's ever been repainted or what. It's definitely missing the decals, but yeah, I don't really know what to make of that. It was probably raced at some point, so who knows, maybe they wadded the hood and had to fix it. I don't see any obvious signs of that's why the windshield broke in the first place. I don't see any obvious signs. The hood is busted right there. It's gonna have to be fixed. The exhaust is rotted out here and it had a braze repair, which I have a new Y pipe for it. You know, overall it's exactly what you'd want to find in a project sled. Let me see if I can get this closed here. Don't believe that is the correct throttle cable. I think it would have, you know, a single cable and then you know, linkage connecting the two carbs. I don't know for sure, but let me get that snow out of here. Okay, I've got something covering the carburetor so it doesn't get full of snow. This is actually missing the choke plates. That was probably something for racing, but yeah, overall this thing is in awesome shape. I'm super proud to own this sled. I was super excited to bring it home, but it needs a lot of work. I'm hoping one day to get some time to get it running and see if it'll move under its own power, but yeah, so that is my 72 TNT 400. You know, like I said, if there's anything that I was incorrect about, please nicely drop a comment and, you know, teach me. I'm here to learn, but I just love these sleds so much. So one last parting shot. All right, so back in the shop. A lot nicer in here. I didn't know it was going to snow when I started doing this video, but it is started snowing like crazy. But yeah, so just like I did with the RV, tell me what you would do with that sled if it was yours. I've got a pretty good idea of what I want to do. My plan is to, like I said, try to get it running and see if I can at least get one ride on it. But the goal is to restore that sled. It's in very nice shape, but I don't think it is in nice shape enough. I don't think it's in nice enough shape to where you would leave it as an unrestored sled. The hood is missing the decals. It's got some damage. It's missing the seat, obviously. The windshield needs work. Definitely not in the good shape that one is in. Yeah, so get it running maybe, hopefully. And then, you know, hopefully restore it someday. My friend I bought it from, he's pretty confident that it would run. So hopefully can get it running. And it's kind of you really want to be careful with that engine because the parts are difficult to find. The pistons are difficult to find. So you really don't want to do any damage. But knowing the history somewhat of that sled, I feel confident to get it running and go from there. It would be awesome to get a ride on that. Yeah, I just love those sleds. So let me know in the comments what you would do if that was your sled. Would you restore it? Would you run it as is? Would you sell it? And if you would sell it, what would you get? Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate all of the support to this channel. It is winding down for the year, so there's not going to be any shows that I go to until January. But I am going to do my end of the year recap, so look for that in the next week or so. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you on the next one. And there it is, back on its display perch. I just love looking at this sled. I always smile every time I see it. All right, now thanks for tuning in, everybody.